Looking at the first chart, I can identify that number of tourists visiting Brazil has increased over the years, and most of them, are using mode of transportation as air. And if I talk about seasonality patterns, people start visiting tourists starting from the month of August and they come till the month of January. So August to January or December is the peak time of visiting Brazil.
Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to Skills for Chasers. Hope you all are enjoying learning Power BI. Now, once you learn Power BI, definitely you will be going for certain interviews. Now, just to make your interview practice easy, I'm hereby launching a practice series where I will be just solving different exercises, and all these exercises will be from different industries. So see, all since you learn Power BI, you all will be working as a data analyst. And when you will work as a data analyst in any of the companies, definitely that company could be into finance, it could be into insurance, supply chain, tourism, etc. So now when you go for the interviews in such companies, their expectation would be that you are able to help them give certain answers, that how you have used Power BI in different industry or in the different sectors. So the same charts, same type of analysis will be used in a different way across the different industries. So please all of you go through these exercises, because in these exercises objective will not just be to create some charts with the Power BI, but also link those charts, that how those analysis are going to help the business to take better decisions. So let's jump on to our first exercise today, which will be from the tourism sector.
Start with the case study of series 1. So like we discussed, we will be solving a case study which is related to the tourism industry. So here we have a problem statement with us. And what are the different kind of analysis we have to do from here? They all have been listed down. So what we will be doing is we will be loading the data, and based on the requirement that we have, we will try to identify the best chart for the representation. And we will also identify what are the different insights that we get from them. So see, the problem statement that we have is here we have like we have been selected by like Brazil tourism, right? You can assume, right? You work for some tourism company, right? Like say Make My Trip or Agoda or likewise. And to them, a project has come wherein they have to understand how the tourism is happening in Brazil, so that if they have to come up with some offers, discounts, so they can plan accordingly. So the data that we have got, I will show you the data also once we load it into the Power BI. And it's a simplistic data. I'm sure if you as a data analyst think about what kind of data a tourism, a company is going to generate, I'm sure you can think a lot of scenarios. Primarily over here, we have a customer data. So we have the customer, how many tourists came in which month, right? So we have it like what mode of transportation they have used. Are they coming through air, land, river, or sea? So I'll give you a glimpse of the data. So let's jump onto the Power BI and see the data and then start solving this problem. So you can, before you jump onto it, please take a moment and please go through the problem statement that is also given over here, where it says you have been hired by a Department of Tourism of Brazil to analyze tourism trends of the past 10 years. And the supply data set is in the machine readable format and contains monthly count of visitors. Now, it has the count of visitors who are visiting from other countries to Brazil. And counts are split on the basis of state into which the visitors have come, right? Like if suppose someone is visiting to India. Now, India is a country and it has multiple states. It can happen. Maybe some tourists landed in Karnataka, some tourists landed in Maharashtra, some tourists landed in, Delhi. So they can land in any of the state of India. So likewise, in Brazil data set as well, we have the data in which state of Brazil they have landed. And what is the mode of transportation they have used? Air, land, river, or sea. So let's jump to the Power BI. Now, the data set that we have for this file is actually in a CSV file format. And the link of that data, I will be putting it in the description box below. So since we have to load the data from CSV file, we will click on Get Data, and we will choose the option of text or CSV. So I'm going to select my file. And we have good amount of rows. We have around 2.5 lakh rows of data for this particular data set. So we can see everyone, the data has been loaded. So let's first of all go through the data. We have a column of continent. The continent is representing the visiting country continent, right? Like Africa. So Africa continent represents the tourists of these countries. They belong to continent Africa. State is representing to which state of Brazil they have landed, right? So this is not the state of the country. This is the state of Brazil where they got landed. Way in is the mode of transportation they have used in. We have the column of year. In which month, what was the count of tourists? And you will see at certain places, we also have the count as 0. So let's load this data, all of you. So finally, my data is loaded in the Power BI desktop. Now let's go back and check the first problem statement. The first task is asking us a timeline showing the overall trend in visitors to Brazil over the period of the data set. So if it is being asked that we have to show the trend means time series analysis. So definitely we would like to understand that over the years, has the number of tourists visiting Brazil increased or decreased? So I'm going to pick up a line chart. So if I click on this, here we got a line chart, and we will drag year. See, we have a column of year, which will come on the x-axis, and we can pick the field of count, which will come on the y-axis. So count is something which is reflecting the number of tourists that have visited. So here we have our first chart. And if you take a look at it, we can easily see that, yes, in the initial years, there was a small dip in the number of tourists visiting. And after that, the number of tourists visiting Brazil has increased tremendously. Let's do some minimalistic formatting. I'm going to add some effects. Let's make it border. Let's turn it on. We can apply a shadow effect. And when it comes to title, so if I come over here, I'll click on title, and let's put it as visitors trend. We can make it bold, increase the font size. And let's keep the text color as white and background color as dark gray. The second question is asking us to show a percentage split between the mode of transportation used for the arrival into the country. Now, whenever we have to showcase the mode of, whenever we have to showcase the percentage share, the right chart is either a pie chart or a donut chart. So in our case, I'll go to the data visualization and let's pick a donut chart. So I have clicked on donut chart, and I'm going to now drag way in the legend, and I will put count on the values. Now, as a best practice, the legends that we have, we should always keep them in the bottom center. So if I go to the formatting, there you will be able to find it. Now, the third task that we have to create a chart highlighting any monthly seasonality of the arrivals. Now, when we talk about monthly seasonality, so can I make a bar chart? Because we have to show month on month analysis. And I can see, right, we can increase the width of this page a little bit to make it look better. So I'll click outside. And now when I click outside, the formatting option that I will get now over here, this will be for the page. So I go to the canvas settings, make it custom, and I will increase the width to around 1330. So we have more comfortable space to arrange the charts. Now, once my page width is increased, I can click on this where I will be dragging the fields. I can drag month on the x-axis. So I will drag month on the x-axis and count on the y-axis. So if I select the previous chart, I will click on Format Painter and apply the formatting over here. So now moving forward onto this. So now all of you, when we take a look on this column chart, we are showing monthly analysis, that month on month, right? We want to understand that which are the month when the number of tourists increase and which are the months when the number of tourists decrease. So here, if you see, the months are not coming sorted in the sequence, like, because technically the chart should be showing me the months from Jan to December. So now what we will have to do in this case, all of you, is if I just go back to the report, because I have to sort the months in a sequence and these months are loaded as a text data. So I will have to take the help of custom sorting. So for that, what I can do is I can click on enter data. And now over here, we will have to type month names. So when I click on enter data, so I'm going to call it as month name, and we will put some sequence number. So over here, either if you can type the month names in an Excel and copy paste it over here, or you want to type it manually on this table itself, you can do that. So I will say January, we have February. You have to be very careful with the spellings that they should be exactly the same, and there shouldn't be even a space over here. So we can give this table a name as month table. So now once I have loaded this table now, so if we see over here, all of you, a month table has been created. Now, first of all, I will go into the model view. So once I go in the model view, you will notice Power BI has automatically identified that relationship and the two tables are connected to each other by month. Now I go to the table view. I will say month name, the column of month name that we have. This should be sorted by sequence, right? A sequence means where I have defined January should be 1, February should be 2. So now when the sorting will happen, Power BI will not sort the months as alphabetically, they will be sorted as numerical from 1 to 12. Since now the tables are connected, what I will do is I will remove the month from this table, and instead we will bring the month from the month table. And here we will notice now the months are coming sorted, and we can see there is one blank that has come up. So I think there's a spelling mistake in the February table, that the February that I have written. No problem. So that can be sorted. So I'll just go into my transform data. So in the transform data, we will have to rectify the spellings. So I click on source. So now everyone, I have corrected the spelling of February, which was wrong, and that was creating a blank. And now if you see over here, the months are coming properly sorted over here in this. So we can see all the months are coming from Jan to December. Now this was a small task where you have to understand how the custom sorting of the data is done. So we'll go back to report, and now let's try to figure out what is the next analysis that we have. See, the next task says we have to make a map of Brazil comparing the states of the country by the number of arriving tourists. So if I create a map, so I have picked up this map, and now see, we have to make a map of Brazil. So map of Brazil will be possible if I'm dragging the states. So if I drag the state column on the location, and then I will drag count on the bubble size, and you will notice a Brazil map has been created where a bigger the bubble showcases a higher number of tourists. But a problem that we have over here is you can notice one bubble is being shown in Australia. See, all the states are of Brazil. Then how come one bubble is being represented in Australia? Let us hover on this and identify that thing from the tooltip. So from here we look at it, the name of that state in the data is other units of federation. Now others can be anywhere. So either you go back in the data and replace other units of federation by some value which lies within Brazil. Or for now, what I will do is, because I do not want to distort the view, so I'll just come over here in the filter pane, and I will take the help of filter on this visual, and I will click on state, select all, and I will just uncheck other units of federation. Now, once you remove the others, you will see very nice focus comes onto the Brazil. So let's apply the format painter over here as well. The next task is a map of the world comparing the countries by the number of tourists who have visited Brazil. So now we have to make a world map. So that is, if I just make a copy of this chart, and I will remove the state, and instead I will bring the country into this, and this map will be sorted. So here we can see number of countries from where the tourists have visited. A chart comparing the different continents by the number of tourists who visited Brazil. So now we have to do a continent analysis. So can I make a tree map for that? So tree map is something where we showcase bigger the box, higher the count, smaller the box, lower the count. So I can drag continent on the category, and I can drag count in the values. So here we see it. See, we can see a map by continent has been created. I will copy the format painter and apply it over here. The next task says edit the interaction of the chart 1 to filter the data of chart 3 and 4. So basically, right now, this chart is going to interact with every other chart, all of you. I want it should only filter chart number 3, chart number 4, and with the other charts, it should have no interaction. So if I select the chart and we click on format, edit interactions. So I'm going to make this as none. This is filter. This is already filtered, none and none. So I will close the edit interactions, and here we can see now this chart, if I click on this, is going to impact only 2 charts. Other charts are not impacted. We also have to add a title and a logo. So let's do one thing. Let's increase the page height. Let's make the height around 800. Let's make it 850. See, I'll select all the charts, move them down. Then what we can do is we can add a text box. Here we will write Brazil tourism. I also have a logo already with me. So if I say insert a text box, sorry, not a text box, I will say insert image. So I have a Brazil tourism logo with me. I'll just put that logo right below the title. Let's keep the style as fill. Here we have a logo. Now we also have to add 2 cards in this. See, all of you, if you will see the last question, we have to make the formatting of the report to be client ready, which we are already taking care of. And then we have to add a card to show total visitors and number of countries. So in this, all of you, I'm going to pick the new card. See, this is a very interesting card. If I add this card, I will drag count and let's call it as total visitors. Now in this, in this card, if you go to the formatting of this, you have an option to bring some image. So I'm going to turn the option of image, browse an image. I already have some images with me. You can also download it from the Google and you can put some logo like this. See, this makes the chart look very interesting. So normal card only, but just you have some better formatting options. We can make a copy of this card. And in this, I will remove total visitors. And instead, we have to show country and take count distinct and call it as countries. And if I go to the formatting and I can change the image. So images, I will remove this one and let's bring another one. So I have another logo of a globe. So here you can see this is how the chart report looks like. Now, if we quickly go through this report that we have created, By looking at the first chart, I can identify that number of tourists visiting Brazil has increased over the years, and most of them, are using mode of transportation as air. And if I talk about seasonality patterns, people start visiting tourists starting from the month of August and they come till the month of January. So August to January or December is the peak time of visiting Brazil. I guess probably the weather is better during that time. If I talk about states, so most of the people they land directly into Sao Paulo or Parana or Rio de Janeiro. These are like the major states of Brazil where tourists are landing mostly. And when we take a look on this map by country, so we can see, since Brazil lies in South America, so most of the tourists are definitely visiting from that continent to which that country belongs to. And we can see a lot of tourists have come from United States, right? But majority of the chunk is actually coming from South America, and from there as well, the country is Argentina. So now all of you, if you see this entire report that we have created, this is something which gives us a lot of interesting insights, and probably a company which is doing some data analysis for them can help them, they can come up with the offers depending upon the analysis that we see. So hope you all would have enjoyed this activity. So please do practice, and you can, whatever report you create and the kind of formatting you do, you can put your screenshots in the chat. Definitely, we'll go through it and give you some feedbacks on it. Thanks for watching, everyone.